Hello and welcome to Charlotte Sketches, where Charlotte sketches. I am your host Charlotte, and these are my sketches. Today I'll be discussing my thoughts on the new Teen Titans Go movie, because that's a new and original thing to do and not at all overdone and beaten into the ground at this point. But first, let it be known that I'm a fan of the original Titans, and I'm very hyped about the possibility of Season 6. But this video isn't going to be about that. In this video, I'm going to be doing my best to talk about my thoughts on the new Teen Titans Go to the Movie film, as well as a brief synopsis on my thoughts on the series as a whole, the things it does right, things I think it still needs to work on, and the overall impression that the show has had on me over the time that it's been aired. That being said, let's get started. Now, when the first few episodes came out, I, like many others, was upset. It was a definite slap in the face to a lot of the older fans who had been waiting for their heroes to return, only to have the rug pulled out from under them. That said, the picture I'm currently redrawing is an image that I drew back then. I titled this piece Disappointed, and it was one of the first prints that I ever sold at the convention. Not to say that I'm particularly proud that my first sales were of venting art, but just to give context for the piece and where I was when I made it. However, given some time and some much needed distance, I think that the Teen Titans Go movie was passable. It wasn't the best I've seen from Cartoon Network or DC, but it was definitely one of the better Teen Titans Go depictions I've seen so far. The problem with the current Teen Titans Go show is that for a long time it was trying to find who it was as a show, and not just as a comedic reboot of the first series. It tried its hand at telling nothing stories that amounted to dangling keys in front of kids, which angered the original fans, who were much older. And it also tried its hand at calling out said fans in a number of episodes, with a catty, albeit mean-spirited nature. The result being more fan backlash and alienation of the older audiences, and the more jaded and attacked the creators feel for having their property dragged through the mud. I get it. You didn't make the show for them. That's fine. A lot of fans are still really upset that a show that they loved on its own merits was cancelled to no fault of its own, and replaced with a show that openly shows disdain for the original fanbase. They're not wrong in their feeling of abandonment and hurt about it. You don't have to be Teen Titans. Nor should you be. Attempting to meet the fans halfway with Teen Titans Go won't satisfy anybody, and leave the show disjointed. It's a problem that the series has had for a while, and to its credit, with this recent movie, I think they're finally getting to the point where they know where they want to be and what their sweet spot is. Now, what I'm about to say is probably a little risque, but I think Teen Titans Go should be way meaner than it currently is at the moment. Throughout the series, they've shown spite towards the fanbase and towards the industry. The Teen Titans Go special, where they actually went to Warner Brothers studio and talked to the animators and voice actors, was a really good episode, and as an animator, I enjoyed it. But I think that the show would benefit greatly if it took a page out of the books of both Family Guy and Robot Chicken. Believe it or not. Hear me out. In the Teen Titans Go movie, there were a lot of really great satirical moments that involved all of the Justice League characters, and even harkened back to much older movies that kids these days have probably never even heard of. These scenes were written really well, with a clear indication that the writers were, if not fans, then at least very well versed in the original source material. They were funny scenes and had surprisingly dark humor about them, some of which involved killing off main heroes for nothing but a gag, or my personal favorite, going back and causing the death of Batman's parents. I actually cackled in the theater. And honestly, I think that's what's missing. Every once in a while, after all this good writing and ballsy humor, there'd be another stupid joke about butts or poop. There's like an entire minute where the joke is just the Titans all pooped in this fake toilet and they're disgusting. Get it? It's funny because poop. And that's the problem, which brings me to my next point. I'm pretty sure there's a difference between a show that's, quote, just for kids, and a show that's made with kids in mind. The first assumes the low IQ of its audience and puts in minimal effort to be clever or interesting to the viewers, because why would you put in that much effort? It's just a kids' show. The latter takes the route that Walt Disney took when it came to making movies. He said, quote, "Over at our place, we're sure of just one thing. Everybody in the world was once a child. So, in planning a new picture, we don't think of grown-ups, and we don't think of children, but just of that fine, clean, unspoiled spot down in every one of us, that maybe the world has made us forget, and that maybe our pictures can help recall. It's not a matter of different standards for different audiences. It's about putting the same amount of effort into the programming and material that you make for your child audiences as you would for your adult ones. They have some good writers at Teen Titans Go, some of whom I'm sure are fans of DC and love their jobs. But it's just a shame that so much of what's been put out is reaching for the lowest possible branch, when they've shown that they have what it takes to be clever, interesting, and entertaining for multiple audiences. The movie itself wasn't a terrible film. It was just marred by a lot of the downfalls of the series as a whole. But it had a lot of excellent moments of humor, action, and animation. I'd like to give Teen Titans Go a chance to push forward with some clever episodes and intelligent writing. I don't think the show is fruitless, and I'm looking forward to seeing what they make in the future. I just hope that they put their efforts into making a good show instead of just a good show for kids. And those are my thoughts on the matter. But I'd love to hear what you guys think. Definitely comment down below what you think of the Teen Titans Go movie if you saw it, and if you haven't, please refrain from trying to comment on something you haven't seen yet. It's not fair to the creators to judge something before you've even watched it. I went to the theater, I sat down and watched it, please just take the time, it's only fair. And if you still hate it, you can also put down hate comments. That's perfectly fine as long as it's something that you actually spent the time doing. I hate it when people judge things before watching them. Anyways, thanks for sitting down and watching the video, and yeah, who's excited about Season 6?